Urgent, Commanders fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Omarion Hampton could give Commanders serious horsepower. The opinions expressed in this article do not reflect those of the team. Another draft is on the horizon, which means the Washington Commanders have another chance to improve their roster and get closer to competing for a championship. The Commanders put themselves among the best teams in the league last season, going from 403 in 2023 to earning an appearance in the NFC Championship in head coach Dan Quinn and general manager Adam Peters' first year leading the franchise. Although their season ended against the Philadelphia Eagles, they now have a clear foundation for the future with former number 2 overall pick Jaden Daniels in the backfield. Now the Commanders are picking on the opposite end of the first round with the number 29 overall selection. They got the most important piece last year with Daniels, but there are still several positions they need to address before the 2025 season begins. In anticipation of that selection, Commanders.com will highlight one mock draft from a draft expert each week to delve into how that player or players would fit with Washington. This week, Yahoo Sports' Nate Tice and Charles McDonald have the Commanders taking one of the best running backs in a deep class. Omarion Hampton being 100th percentile in yards after contact is amazing. Also is very explosive both on the field and with his combine testing pick. Twitter. CompuQZL1Q8X Teji Seth Tejef Banalytics April 8, 2025 Omarion Hampton, RB, North Carolina. For all the positions the Washington Commanders could address with the 29th pick, running back is seemingly low on the list. The group is mostly unchanged with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler at the top of the depth chart, and it fueled the team's dominant rushing attack throughout the regular season. But drafting for need is not General Adam Peters' style. The Commanders want to fill their roster with good players regardless of their position in order to be as dynamic and explosive on both sides of the ball as possible. So even though the draft is considered deep with talented running backs, it might make sense to take one of the best on the board. Tice and McDonald certainly think so, which is why they have the Commanders taking Hampton out of UNC. This might feel like a luxury pick given the Commanders' needs elsewhere, but they would have some serious horsepower on offense with the addition of Hampton, Tice, and McDonald wrote. He has been a star of the draft process coming off the backs of a dominant season running the ball for UNC. Hampton was so dominant that there's only a handful of players in UNC history who had better stints with the Tar Heels. He has the 4th most career rushing yards, 3,565 to go with 36 rushing touchdowns, which ranks 3rd in program history. He has 2 of the school's top 10 single-season performances in all-purpose yards, including a program-best 2,033 yards last season. Many analysts consider Hampton to be one of the best players in this year's class. ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., for example, has Hampton as his 10th best player between LSU offensive lineman Will Campbell and Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. His physical traits back up the hype. He measured at 6 foot and 221 pounds at the combine and ran a 4.46 40-yard dash with a 38-inch vertical and a 10'10" broad jump. And yet Hampton has become a somewhat popular pick for the Commanders in mock drafts. Perhaps it's because it's rare for teams to use a first-round pick on a running back and even more infrequent for multiple teams to do so in the same draft. Or, as NBC's Connor Rogers suggested in his mock draft, there could be an early run on other positions that would push Hampton down the order. Regardless of the reason, many analysts have Hampton sliding in the draft far enough for the Commanders to take him. Has extremely physical in everything he does from between the tackles running to creating after the catch, down to pass protection, Rogers wrote of Hampton. Fans of running backs from 30 years ago will love Hampton's style. He has some quickness that he uses to bounce to the perimeter on occasion, but most of his biggest plays come from him running straight through the middle of defenses and bowling over tacklers. He is a decisive, one-cut kind of running back, and he has enough speed to outrun anyone on the field. He ranked 5th in breakaway yards and 3rd in runs of at least 10 yards last year. And while this year's running back class is stacked with talented players, there are few better than Hampton at getting yards after contact. He was second in the category last year behind Ashton Jeanty and in the 97th percentile in yards after contact per attempt by Pro Football Focus. He also led the FBS in yards after contact in 2023 and forced at least 60 tackles over the last 2 seasons. Hampton is a dependable rusher who can make defenders miss in the hole, Kuiper wrote. And once he sees daylight, he's gone. As a receiver, Hampton isn't the most explosive weapon, but does have moments where his breakaway speed allows him to make plays. He was particularly potent on screen passes where he was able to get in space, run over a defender, and flip the field. He also has reliable hands with 67 catches in 2023 and 2024 combined. The biggest concern brought up by analysts about Hampton is how his style could affect his career longevity. There aren't many running backs in the NFL who run with such a physical style, and even fewer who have extended years as starting caliber players. NFL.com's Lance Zierlein suggests Hampton will have to learn to pick and choose his battles in order to be one of the exceptions. But even those who bring up that criticism can't deny Hampton has a lot of what NFL teams look for in running backs. The Commanders are always on the lookout for players who can manufacture explosive plays, and Hampton has proven multiple times he is capable of that, even if it requires him to run through a few players to do so. Hampton paired with Jaden Daniels would give the Commanders a chance to repeat last season and cement themselves as an elite running team for years to come, Tyson McDonald wrote, pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks! Now let's get back to the news. Steelers rumors writer suggests Eagles Commanders as possible. TJ Watt trade spots. Watt has represented the Steelers defense for 8 seasons since 2017. TJ Watt could have plenty of plausible destinations for his next NFL team if his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers is over. Andrew Vasquez of the Steelers Wire wrote a piece that discussed 5 teams in the league that would be a positive fit for Watt's skill set. The teams he included were the Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers, Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons, and Carolina Panthers. The Commanders' offense improved by leaps and bounds this offseason, but the team has a glaring weakness edge rusher. Watt deserves a chance to compete for a Super Bowl on a competitive roster, and Washington offers just that, Vasquez said about the Commanders. This one would sting, but it would make a lot of sense if the Steelers aren't competitive around the 2025 trade deadline. The Eagles have a young, unproven edge rush duo and could see Watt as a potential rental for another Super Bowl run. Could Philadelphia offer a king's ransom for a potential two-peat spearheaded by Watt's presence on defense? He wrote about the Eagles. What lies ahead for TJ Watt? Steelers. TJ Watt's future with the Steelers is uncertain as he negotiates his next contract with the franchise. If talks fall through, then he can consider the teams that he can make the biggest impact on. Watt has represented the Steelers for 8 seasons since his debut in 2017. Pittsburgh picked him with the 30th overall pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, making his way up the ranks as one of the best defensive players. He has earned 7 Pro Bowl selections, 3 Deacon Jones Awards, and the 2021 NFL Defensive Player of the Year award throughout his career. He also holds the record for sacks in a season when he made 22, 5 throughout the 2021 campaign. Watt is coming off a 2024 season in which he made 61 tackles, 27 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 4 pass deflections. He helped command the Steelers' defense to a postseason appearance where they lost 28-14 to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC wildcard. If Watt believes his time at Pittsburgh is up, then he could turn his direction to the Commanders and Eagles as his next best destinations. Commanders to meet MVP RB amid growing draft chatter. Running back wasn't atop most to-do lists for the Washington Commanders at the start of the pre-2025 NFL draft process, but the idea of the team using picks at the position is gaining momentum ahead of a visit from a runner with MVP credentials. Shrine Bowl MVP Jackery Krosky-Merritt is set to visit with the Commanders, according to the Sports Place's R.I. Pulley. He reported Krosky-Merritt, an early day 3 target, has 6 top 30 visits per source. He's already visited the Patriots, Vikings, and Chiefs, still to come the Commanders and 2 others. Using later-round draft capital to find a viable running back has become a popular draft strategy in recent years. Things could change this year, though, after the position's importance was reasserted last season, thanks largely to the Philadelphia Eagles and a 2,000-yard season from eventual Super Bowl winner Saquon Barkley, the revival of the running back. may prompt the Commanders to address the position earlier, even in the first round. Nonetheless, Krosky-Merritt will remain an intriguing option, not least because of his scheme fit in coordinator Cliff Kingsbury's offense, Jackery Krosky-Merritt. Fit's Commanders schemes Krosky-Merritt's scheme. Fit concerns his aptitude as a one-cut-and-go runner. It's a trait he showed off on this run for New Mexico, highlighted by Fox College Football back in 2023. This same cutback style of running is what Kingsbury generally favors. That preference is why versatile veteran Austin Eckler joined the Commanders in free agency last year. While Krosky-Merritt is nowhere close to the receiver Eckler is, the former Lobos stud is a more versatile runner. As the Draft Network's Daniel Harms put it, Krosky-Merritt's downhill attacking style will mesh well in inside zone and gap-rushing offenses that look to get upfield quickly. The reference to an affinity with gap-rushing concepts is key. Those same plays were part of the versatile rushing system employed by the San Francisco 49ers, while Commanders general manager Adam Peters was in the front office for the NFC West club. Krosky-Merritt's versatility and history of strong production make him a potentially terrific value pick for Peters. The player's mostly going to slide because of an eligibility issue that limited him to only one game for the Arizona Wildcats in 2024. Fortunately, the 24-year-old offered a timely reminder of his talents with some special award-worthy moments at the East-West Shrine Bowl. Waiting for a player with Krosky-Merritt's upside would allow the Commanders to still target more pressing concerns in round one, needs like edge rusher, safety, or cornerback. The only way that should change is if Peters finds one of the more prominent names in this running back class too good to ignore. Commanders can target a RB earlier. There's a growing sense the Commanders will send one particular running back's name to the podium in round one. This match of player and team is becoming a theme in mock drafts, with Josh Edwards of CBS Sports sending Omarion Hampton to Washington in the 29th slot. Hampton's bell cow traits and ability to stay on the field would make him a natural lead back next to second-year dual-threat quarterback Jaden Daniels. The latter needs to share the backfield with a more dynamic and flexible player than Brian Robinson Jr., who remains a potential trade candidate. This is a good year to be looking for help at running back. The class is deep and talented, but the Commanders need to be selective about picking their spot to target the position. Waiting for Krosky-Merritt would be a happy compromise. And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.